Welcome back to Twin Cities Adventures, and in today's video in the Instant Pot, I'm going to make the world's greatest New York cheesecake. For those of you that have seen our playlist on cheesecakes, you know that they're all very easy to understand and they're all fast, and they're so good you're going to make them over and over. I've actually redone this video for everybody, and it's an improved version from the last video, so let's get started. First thing you're going to need is a cheesecake pan, and this is a 6 by 3 inch pan with a removable bottom. You can buy that on Amazon. The brand is Fat Daddy-O. So what we're going to do is take a piece of parchment paper, and we're going to remove the bottom, and you're going to take it, measure halfway through. That's for next time. This time, I'm just going to wrap the parchment paper around the bottom of the lid. And place it back in just like that. Okay, so that will just pop right out when it's done. Then you're going to want to take some spray Pam, or you can use olive oil or butter, and you're going to want to spray this. It just makes the cheesecake pop out a lot better when it's done cooking. And then set that aside. First thing we're going to do is make our crust, and I'm going to use a graham cracker crust, and if you live overseas and you don't have graham crackers, use any kind of sweet cracker. So you're going to need about 1 package of graham crackers, and there's about 9 crackers in here total. There's in 4 segments here, but you're going to use the whole package. So you're going to want to just crush that up in the little bag here. After your graham crackers are all smashed up in the bag, just dump that in the bowl. You're going to add a 1/4 teaspoon of salt.
Those graham crackers are nice and smooshed up.
4 tablespoons of melted butter. 2 teaspoons of brown sugar. And then you're going to want to whisk that together. Mix that all up. That looks the consistency of like wet sand. Okay? Then you're going to want to dump your graham cracker mix into your cheesecake pan. Kind of lightly arrange that in there. And then take a drinking glass, and you're going to want to press that all around. It's kind of fun to have it kind of come up on the edges, so you'll see when the cheesecake is done. Now you're going to want to put that in the freezer for a few minutes while you mix up the cheesecake batter. Every cheesecake starts with Philadelphia cream cheese, so you're going to need 16 ounces of cream cheese. So take these out of the package. Okay, I just put that in the microwave for about 30 seconds, so we'll just put that in. You're going to add 2/3 cup of white sugar, 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. That's going to make it nice and creamy. A 1/4 teaspoon of salt. 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, 1/2 cup of sour cream. Then you're going to want to take a couple of eggs, and you're going to want to crack them open and beat them before you add them. So let's do that real quick. Okay, so add up those well-beaten 2 eggs. And I like to add everything into one bowl, and then I just mix it all up. So we'll just mix that up real quick with a whisk.
There we go. All whipped up.
Okay, so now I just pulled my graham cracker crust out of the freezer, and now we're going to pour our cheesecake batter right over the top of that.
Nums. That smells delicious.
Okay, now what you need to do is you need to add 1 cup of water into your Instant Pot. Now this is the Instant Pot 6-quart duo, and it comes with this trivet with the handles, so you can like lower things in and out of there. If you're making this in an Instant Pot that's not 6-quart, still just use 1 cup of water. Even if it's an 8-quart, just use 1 cup of water. You're going to want to put your cheesecake on the trivet. Lower that into the Instant Pot. Now you're going to want to put your lid on, lock it, put the seal into lock position. Now let's come down here and program this together. We're gonna hit the pressure cook. That's keep warm button off. That's on normal, high pressure, and we're gonna take that down to 28 minutes. So as soon as that builds up enough pressure, it's gonna steam or pressure cook that for 28 minutes. Okay, it's all warmed up, and now the 28 appeared, so now it's gonna start the countdown. And for anyone who's wondering behind the camera, it's my younger son, Samuel. He's always on the camera, Papa's helper.
Now the 28-minute timer has ended. We are going to let it rest for 10 minutes. Do not break the seal. Keep it closed. We're going to let it rest for 10 minutes and slow release.
Okay, 10 minutes has passed. Now watch your hand here. You're gonna break the seal here. And there's not much steam that came out because 10 minutes of slow release takes care of that. And then you're gonna take the lid off the cheesecake. And then, once again, watch your hands. It's not too hot. What I'm gonna do now is grab my trivet. I'm gonna wanna pick that up and just bring that out on the countertop here. As you can see, there's a little bit of water from the steam. What you're going to want to do is take a paper towel and just blot that. Now, there's really no need to cover your cheesecake in tin foil when you steam the cheesecake. It's just kind of a waste, and this takes 30 seconds just to blot that. It's very quick. All done. Okay, so now you're going to want to make the topping for the cheesecake. And what you're going to need is you're going to need a half a cup of sour cream, and 2 tablespoons of white sugar. Take your whisk, and you're gonna wanna whisk that together. Here we go. Now I just put the cheesecake in the freezer for about 10 minutes while I whipped up the topping. So let's pour that on now. All right, I let this cool off for a few minutes while we mixed up the topping. Now I'm going to just take the spatula and push that right over the top of that. And that is just going to be one delicious topping.
That looks delicious.
Okay, now you need to put this in the refrigerator, and here is the rules for cooling or refrigerating your Instant Pot cheesecake. It's good, better, best. So good is 4 hours, better is 8 hours, and best is overnight. Now, since I put it in the freezer for about 10 minutes or so while I was whipping up the topping, it gave me a jump start on cooling it off. So now we're just gonna put it in the refrigerator for 4 hours because we can't wait till tomorrow to eat this. We wanna taste test it tonight. All right, it's been 4 hours. We'll pull that out of the fridge. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take the trivet out of the way, and you need a plastic coffee mug here, like a Star Wars one. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna go pop that off. Boom. Look at that.
My time to taste test. This is delicious. Definitely nummy num nums.
Time for my taste test. This is delicious.
Time for my taste test. That is the most amazing New York cheesecake ever. It is so good. You have to try this. Now, if you don't have an Instant Pot and you're wondering, well, how do I make that? I'll put on the side of the screen a link to the bain-marie technique so you can bake it in the oven. And then on the top of the screen here, I'll show you another playlist of all of our cheesecakes. Thanks for watching. Twin Cities Adventures, out.